Hey everyone, in this video, we are going to go over CICA Life updates. We're going to go over some slides that I took some photos of in a meeting, which gives you some insights into, what they've accomplished, what they're working on right now, and just an overall update on what's going on at CICA. We're going to share with you some data, sales data, agent data, percentage of GI business. We'll go over a lot. So if you write CICA Life, absolutely worth the watch here. And if you're considering writing CICA Life, you should absolutely tune in here. Okay, they're a great partner of ours. We like working with CICA. We like working with the smaller final expense carriers. They're agile. They listen. They can get things done quicker. And things may start off a little rough on the newer products, but they listen and they work themselves. Those problems work themselves out because they are listening to their agents and agency base here. Okay. So number one, what are before I start here and dig into some slides, what I found interesting here is on this trip, there's a lot of their home service side of the business. So I don't know if you guys know this, but Seca, before this product came out, first of all, they're international, right? They have products internationally, and there's some international qualifiers on this trip as well. But in the States, before this final expense product came out, they had a home service, a debit route. So it's in, I believe, Louisiana, Alabama, and Mississippi, just three states right now, where they have, an agent base that goes door to door collecting payments, like the old school route, right? They don't have a bank account or anything. They go weekly or monthly and collect payments in their communities and just work just work the communities, which makes a lot of sense on how we're able to collect payments as agents, right? We can process payments. That's one of the very unique things to Citizens Life is we're able to work our lapses, or I should say our pending lapses, and process payments on our own, change payment information in the back end. That's something that I wish every carrier did, but Citizens Life did it out of the gate as a brand new, entry into the final expense market because they're used to doing this. They did this with their debit routes, with their current home service agents that are out there that they've been doing for, I believe, decades now. So that made a lot of sense to me, and it clicked when I saw these home service agents. I'm talking to them, and it's a whole different breed, right? I'm telesales, like I'm the dark side to them. They're the dark side to me. It's been kind of cool hanging out with those guys and learned about that side of the business. So anyway, that's a little bit of background on Seek Life, so you can understand them. I want to cover a couple complaints that agents have about Seek Life right now and address those because they addressed them and they were brought up in the meeting as well. Number one is their customer service, right? It is hard to talk to somebody on the customer service side. So the update here, I took a bunch of notes, guys, so I might be looking down into this. They hired 19 people to help in customer service just recently. Okay, many of those are in the Philippines. They hired a bunch of people in their Austin, Texas location to manage the people in the Philippines, but they're training them hard so they can handle a lot of the issues that agents have, the most common ones that agents and policyholders have, and we'll be able to get them. So in the next few weeks, they should be a lot more receptive when you call them to get somebody to answer and to speak with somebody who can get things done. So these customer service people will be able to get things done. They're not going to be your typical customer service overseas people who, don't have the abilities to do a lot of this stuff. Okay. So they have listened to us on that, and that is being addressed here. And some, as far as like the AM Best rating goes, the thing with AM Best and how they address this, because right, they don't have an A rating with AM Best, and a lot of agents decide not to work with them because of that. And they do that because they don't. The CEO says that they don't have the season into it. Like they have to season into AM Best, right? Their financials are great. They have no debt, where a lot of carriers carry debt, right? They're they're publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange. The CEO was joking about how they had the best ticker in the stock exchange, CIA, which I thought was pretty funny. And their investment portfolio is strong. So it's not they don't have an AM Best rating for lack of their financials not being good. It's just be you have to be seasoned into AM Best. They just need to wait and be patient to get their A rating there. Okay. So I wouldn't worry about the solvency or anything with CICA Life that some agents have an issue writing CICA Life with. Okay. All right. So let me dig into some of the data here. Um, and let me show some slides on what they shared with us. All right. So I took pictures of some of these slides, so they may be a little grainy, maybe a little off centered here. So bear with me here. So this is the performance snapshot, and currently they have 13,186 licensed agents writing CICA. Okay, year to date sales 19.3 million, and let's see here. You can see they're growing. And what was it? Last year was 17.9 million in sales. They're already at 19.3 million in sales, and it's mid-July right now. Okay, so they're growing here. Let's go to the next slide. And yeah, this is kind of a snapshot of what they've completed and what they have coming up here. So I think it's important for agents to see this, and they should be sharing this out there. And so I think it's my job, you know, to get this communication out there. Okay, so what they've completed. All right, enhanced lookup of OFAC results, Social Security billing. That was a big update that just went live. That is no small feat, guys. True Social Security billing. Okay, meaning that when I say true Social Security billing, that means like on the first and third, if it falls on a weekend, they're going to draft on the Friday before, not after, because that's when they get their deposit and payment is more likely to be there. Okay. State expansion. So they added an additional 5 new states in California. This is a big question. California is in process. It just takes a long time. They think they'll be able to get California maybe by the end of the year, likely next year though, because they take so long. Okay, they updated replacement forms within the application. The agent portal enhancements and premium flexibility, the agent balance management system to assist with balance transfers. So that's all been completed. Some of the stuff, behind the scenes that you don't see, but they are constantly working on building up this product and making it viable for the long term. Okay. Here's what they have coming up. Okay. Agent debt self-pay from the portal. So if you're an agency owner, your agents can, if they have a chargeback or whatnot, they can pay it back inside the portal. They will have a customer portal for clients, and they're asking us for feedback on that. What should be in the portal? We gave them some good feedback. Agent notifications for failed recurring payments. They're going to refile their application, and let's see here. Yeah, they're going to integrate LexisNexis and API call for the application for pre-filled data. So not to kick people out, but just to help with pre-filling information on the application to get more applications through. Okay, so lots of stuff upcoming there. It's funny how they described last year. Let me go back to my notes here. It's funny. Last year they were just in pure growth mode, right? They took a lot of the market there, and they did that. And this is really important. They did that without going to the big agencies like Integrity and AmeriLife, the big distribution channels, because they wanted to grow responsibly. They didn't want to just get a ton of business, right? They had to go out and, at one point go get reinsurance to reinsure the next block of business, which is what they've done. And so, it was a growth mode in 2024. 2025, they're in fix it mode, right? All these strategic actions that we're seeing right here. And in 2026, they want to revolutionize. Okay. So right now they've got a strong product, and it was a lot stronger in the past. And I'm going to go over that in the next slide here, right? In 2024, there wasn't many checks at all. There was a lot of stuff that was getting level offers that shouldn't have been getting level offers. And that's why they grew so much in 2024. So let me go to the next slide here. So you can see here, I believe in October is when they instituted some checks on the application. So this is the percentage of GI business. Okay. In October, you can see a jump. It was around 10% up to 28%. And they started, putting some other checks in place. And right now, I believe about 39, if I remember correctly, it's 41% of their business is GI as of today. Okay. So they have tightened up underwriting because they're in fix-it mode. They want this product to last a while. They have big plans for this product, and they have plans for future products as well. There was a brainstorming session on this trip about future products and what they should go after. And there was a lot of suggestions made about that as well. Okay, so you're not going to get the approvals that you got in 2024, but you will be able to, but they are a strong company and they're still a good product that's taking a decent amount of risk, just not as much risk as before. Okay, and then as far as underwriting goes, so underwriting is seeing an increase in the number of applications being flagged as a potential rewrite, and that's important. So if a case isn't processed um, within 1 to 5 days or so, and actually you're going to get this case declined if it is a rewrite for the third time. So they're seeing agents rewrite policies that are within the grace period and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and it keeps falling off the books. It's really hurting their persistency numbers because that policy keeps falling off. So after the third time now, it will be declined. You can only rewrite 3 times now. Okay, I think it would be less by the way. So there's that. And that's why, and also, underwriting is seeing an increase in the number of applications being flagged for review, and that's for a potential rewrite. If you put comments in the remarks section of the application, it will get flagged for review. You won't get a decision quickly. Okay, that's important to understand that. Let's see here. What else do we have? Yeah, where did I need that? Okay. But that's basically the updates here, right? They've had a lot of strong growth. They're listening to what we're saying. They're making changes. It's slow changes, right? We know if you're an agency owner, they need more hierarchies. That's something we all touched on, but they prioritize Social Security billing first. And I agree with that decision. True Social Security billing should have been first. And they did that. So now they will be working on getting more hierarchies for agencies because there are only, I think, 6 or 7 levels that you can choose from. And they're pretty much set. All right, let me see if I missed anything here in my notes. Let's see here. Yeah, basically it. All right, so anyway, this has been a great trip. We've really gotten to know Citizens Life, got to know the other agency owners, agents, and the other side of the business. And we really do enjoy working with them. I'm not saying that because I'm in beautiful Alaska. I don't know if you can see the reflection in front of me. Like, look, what I'm looking at is incredible. Like, turn my camera around, it'll just blow out. You won't be able to see it because of my camera quality on my laptop. But with CICA, they listen. They are small and nimble. You can, they're accessible and they listen. And I really appreciate that about them. The product was awesome in 2024. It's still good in 2025. It's getting better. And I think we're going to see a lot more changes to make this a better product in the future. I can see they didn't say this, but I know it's being discussed, potentially other levels, not just standard and guaranteed issue going into this product. And anyway, hope this was helpful for you guys. Anybody who's considering writing CICA Life, or if you are currently writing CICA Life, I think this is important information to have. It's not really public information, like the percentage of GI business that that is there, and being 41%, but it is a niche that they have, right? They pretty much are one of the only if not the only GI option, unless I'm having under age 50. So it makes sense why they're getting a bunch of GI business right now. So I don't want you guys to think that it's 41% GI business, that 59% is only going to go level that you submit. You have to remember a lot of that GI business is people that are submitting it under age 50 because it's one of the only options, if not the only option right now, depending on the current age of the clients. Okay. So anyway, love working with CICA Life. If you guys have any questions about CICA Life, post in here. There have been some growing pains. They've addressed that. They're very upfront about that, and they are working on them, like I mentioned in this video. All right. Hope everybody who writes CICA Life enjoys writing them as much as I do, and hopefully they get more carriers out there that do business like them.